Hello, everyone. And yeah, January 11th, right? Sorry. It's already January 11th. So welcome again to Growing Up Alien. And today I just found, actually somebody else found, and I just happened to kind of review it. I guess Fox 11 News out of California was able to capture some interesting footage. It looks like a craft with an orb. Now, that's odd considering, they didn't edit this out. They allowed it to play. There's a couple of things when you remote view one of these situations. So that's what I did. I remote viewed it. And my take on it is my take on it. Again, remote views are remote views. So I just want to read, actually, I'm going to bring it up here. I took some close-up photos from the video. So that obviously there's no little square on the video, but that is what the craft looks like in the video. So there's a close up of it there, and this flying over the clouds. And I took another picture of it. There's a less blown up view of this flying over the smoke clouds, and then there's the actual video itself. So there on the bottom, if you look where it says Long Valley Road, next to Long Valley Road, I can actually backtrack it. Yeah, so if you see where it says Long Valley Road, there's a little dot, a very tiny little white dot. So that looks like an orb to me. It doesn't look like a plane. I try to blow it up, but it certainly doesn't. It really does look like an orb, like a metallic type orb. So we'll play the rest. So if you look at where that little orb is flying, near it says Long Valley Road. So I can move it back again. I can see like where that. There it is. See how hopefully everybody can kind of see that. I'll put a link actually to the original footage. And it's always of importance. I wish more people would do this. Again, maybe because I'm an academic, but when they when they share captured video or photography on their TikTok or Instagram, whatever they're using, really if they could link back to the original footage, if there is any, it makes it a lot easier for everyone. So I'm going to do that here so that you guys can analyze the original footage. Now, in a case like this, I've actually videotaped it onto my phone anyway, and or if you can download it, because you never know if Fox 11 might actually pull it. So that way there you'll have a copy of it. Oh, we never had, they'll be like, oh, well, we never had anything like that. I don't know what you saw. If they were to do that, now we have enough of us with the original evidence that they can't remove. So if you look at the comments, which I'll just read a few now, on the original YouTube from Fox 11 News, everyone is talking about the UFO. They're all like, "Did you see the UFO in the footage?" So anyway, here is the thing I think is an orb, and then you'll see the UFO come flying in on top of it in the clouds. Here it is. There it goes. Yeah. So everyone can do their own. I'll just play it back again. Hopefully you can catch it. It's flying by the clouds. See it? There you go. So anyway, I'm just going to read. I should go back to the UFO itself. There it is. Bring it back. Yeah. Okay, you can see it pretty clear there, right above the dark streak in the middle of the clouds. So on this Fox 11 Los Angeles, it says this is the one that says the title is Kenneth Fire, New California fire erupts in West Hills. So it's a roughly 20-acre brush fire is burning in the West Hills, Hidden Hills area, in the general area of the 101 freeway and Valley Circle Boulevard. So they're all working there. Now the comments are what I'm really interested in. And here's one: is that a UFO that flew over? And then here's was a pop. He says, that UFO is like not my problem. So, do you all see the UFO? Everybody says UFO. Yeah, dude, this video has a UAP flying through it. That's the UFO that everyone's talking about. UFO. Wow, look at this. It passed by it once at one timestamp 116, 118. Yes. And then you always get somebody here. LA is under attack. Yeah, well, by the not the UFO, buddy. So this is that I'm actually this is what I want to bring up actually. Here we go. Some people think it's a fake. You'll always have that. So you got to analyze the footage 100% to see. So the only since I'm not able to analyze footage, I don't have that kind of computer set up. And plus, I'm not a scientific like that person. I just remote view the thing. So here is the deal, because a lot of people are wondering why aren't people like us, we're all like, what the, just bring the UFOs in, let's get this thing on the road, all that stuff. And I, yeah, totally would agree with that. Yeah, we're all pulling our hair out here. The problem is, um, even though quite a few Terrans are waking up, um, not a whole lot, I think, are ready to fully understand the way we do the situation. So, you got to understand your average person, their only way of ever working with extraterrestrials and aliens is through the movies and through fiction. So they have a kind of a very warped understanding. It's not their fault, it's just that's all they've been fed. Um, so they're in that fiction mindset, which is what, television and all of your entertainment is all about, is to kind of mind wipe and mind control you. So to watch these, even if it's benevolent, the same point was there. But if you talk to, and I used to teach disclosure at university, and nobody really understood it. They couldn't process what was going on, even though I wasn't doing a lot of alien stuff, obviously. I was talking about what the governments were doing. So like the Brazilian congressional hearings, our congressional hearings, showing stuff like that, the Roswell, all that stuff. Mostly military and governmental documents, archival footage, that kind of thing. Even the astronauts talking about it. So your average person can't process it. The class was pretty disappointing, I have to say. that no one was. I'm always going to say no one. I don't think the ones that kind of processed it were very frightened. They're like, "Oh, I'm afraid of aliens." I said, "They just look like people. Why would you be afraid of them?" They're, "Oh, I'm still afraid of them," and I still meet people today who are still afraid of them. So you're going to have an issue like that popping up, and if you were to see a lot of these craft flying over the fires, the bad guys are going to say they're setting them. See, and even then, like, there's so many layers to this, and I can't say for sure exactly how this is going to roll out, because yeah, and like a lot of people ask this question too. Why aren't we controlling the media? Well, we are in a way. We're controlling it right now. I'm controlling it right now doing this, and you're controlling it when you do your stuff. And yeah, I mean, we are, because basically your mainstream news media is how many people really watch that anymore? Not that many. How many people buy a newspaper? Not that many. So your stuff like that is not hitting as hard as you think. And actually everybody in my family is all on board with this stuff. I just told them about it, and then right away they're all like, yeah, this makes sense. All this stuff is real. So some of my family were hardcore CNN viewers, but they're still I say well still they're still hardcore CNN videos, but they're believing everything I'm telling them. So I think we're getting kind of a slide over there. I feel in the remote view that the orb and the ship are ours. They're not the government's. I don't think the government wants to show like this on a news footage their stuff. Yeah, the government is in a rock. The bad government is in a rock and a hard place. And the issue that I always told people when I was teaching the class is not about like, oh, I don't care about aliens. Who cares about aliens, right? And it's like, well, it's not about the aliens per se. It's not about having a coffee with a lady from Venus. The problem is, it's the technology. So the aliens aren't really, or they're going to bring us some stuff, yes. But I mean, we have all that stuff. It's just you don't have it in your house. It's all being hidden. It's all being suppressed. It's all being, swept under the rug. And anyone who comes forward with it back in the day were removed. And even now, your patents and everything get suppressed. So all of the technology that everybody would like, not everybody, I suppose, is there on Earth. We have it. We've had it for decades. It's being hidden, because that's the way it works, right? When you are occupied resource for a prey species that is creating a serfdom on a planet. So their entire situation rests on us never understanding the fact that they have this technology. So when they want to interact with the benevolence, they have to be very careful because they can't reveal that they have this technology. So now you're getting people capturing, as you've seen, the DEW themselves, the happy lasers that are, yeah, you know the rest of the story here, right? These obviously everybody knows these aren't natural fires. Just looking at the evidence alone is it's pretty much in your face. Um, but I just wanted to share this today, and I'm also going to put the link in here to the actual video from the Fox News, so you can go scroll through that yourself and kind of play with it and see what your take is on this. So as I mentioned, my take is that yes, and why aren't this is people are asking why aren't the benevolence doing something? Why aren't they stopping these fires? And I think they are actually in some ways. They have to be careful how they do this because as you saw in one of the comments, if you see stuff like this with these ships flying through, it's very easy for one or two people to set fear off. They may have watched too many sci-fi movies. This is an alien invasion. They're probably going to try to tell people, "Oh, you can't. It's alien invasion." It's us. It's the people who have this lower vibrational fight or flight type reaction. So it's a reaction because that's what was given to humanity on this planet. They want you to live in fear. They want you to live in lack. They want you to live in competition. They want you to be dog eat dog. So you will see quite a few Terrans that will lapse immediately. And I think many of them think it's cool. They think that's the way to look. We got to fight these. We got to get the military. And they don't realize the military is flying these things. it's like, dude, the military is working with the extraterrestrials. So humanity itself, the masses of the Terrans are the problem, as you all know. They've always been the problem. They're victims, yes, but they're also a problem. And it complicates the way stuff is done. Now, I think that these kinds of disasters, sadly, and this is and I say this is the Terrans. I know they want this. They don't actually want this, but it's going to take this kind of thing to shake them up because your average person lives in a cage, basically a fish tank. They get up in the morning, they go to work, they come home, they make supper, they watch TV, they go to bed. They get up in the morning, they put the trash out, they go to work, they come home, they watch TV, they go to bed. That's what your average person does without anything else except, oh, I get a couple weeks of vacation, let's go on a cruise. That is their life. It's a fishbowl life. There's not a whole lot of think outside the box. And it's not their fault. That's just how they've been brainwashed. But that's your average person. So it's very, very difficult to break them of this type of behavioral agenda. They don't want it to stop. So they may not be exactly happy with that kind of life, but they can't change. They actually like it. They like normalcy, whatever you want to call it. So even though we're offering them a much better way of living, one that has more fulfillment, or what we view as fulfillment. See, this is the thing. What the audience, my family, my friends here, all of you, thousands of people, you want that because you know already that there's a really great way that you can actually live your life and be happy. You don't have to slave away. You don't have to be owned by everyone. You can live on your own planet without ever having to pay anybody. It's like all that stuff is an illusion, right? So you know that. You don't have to be sick. You don't have to suffer. None of that has to happen. You don't have to age. You know all that stuff. We don't need to pollute our waters. We don't need plastics. We don't need any of that stuff. So we know that. But your average person isn't mentally ready for that. I think there's a lot that are, but there's still a significant number that are not because they're happy with it. And I've talked to people like that. Um, they're happy getting sick. It sounds hard. I know it blows people's minds, but it's true. You have a lot of people who just they don't care. And this is, I believe, will be the option when this stuff starts to roll out. They usually it's not going to be forced on anyone. So if you want to continue poisoning yourself, you can do that. If you want to be decrepit and fall apart, you can do that. You know, but the option will be there for everybody else to not have to live like that. So free will, that's what free will really is. It's like if you want to get old and fall apart and die of some weird disease, you can do that. But if you want to say maintain your body, age regress, and generally not experience that, so you can actually enjoy your life, then that will be there as well for you to enjoy. But it's complicated. This is a complicated planet. It's just a weird planet. It's just, I mean, it's just my mind is blown basically on this. I can't, it gets worse and worse as the months go by, where I can barely process the way people live on this planet and the fact that our streets aren't full of people protesting. Anyway, not, I mean, not violently, but just being out there saying it's enough. We've had enough. We're going to rule ourselves. We don't need you guys. You never, you just suppressed us and oppressed us for millennia. We don't need it anymore. But anyway, um, yeah, read the comments on the Fox News site. See what people think. By and large, as I said, by and large, most people are like, "Cool, look at that. Is that a UFO?" Wow. They're not even questioning. They're not saying it's a weather balloon. It's ball lightning. It's a weird cloud. We're past that. So that's a plus. See, there's a lot of that's good. It's a weather balloon. So no one's really saying that. So that's a plus. Even the government's not saying that anymore. It was always ball lightning or a weather balloon. Not anymore. Now they're like, oh, we don't know what that is. Um, but anyway, they are. They got your back, guys. I know it looks like this is terrible, and I totally get it. And Ika talked about that before. Like we're just like, it's sad. It really is that that doesn't have to, but it's just happening. I just think it's unfortunate that the mass of humanity needs to have this kind of destruction in their face for them to say, hey, something's going on. Sad. It's very sad. But it's going to be rock and roll, I think. That's kind of my sensation of what's to come is that the deep state right now doesn't really know what cards it's going to. It has its cards all out. I can see all their cards. They have a lot of different things they want to play. And the alliance knows that. And it really is like a table tennis match. That's really what it feels like to me. So they're going to throw out different things. You see all that bird flu crap and all. They're going to try all that. They're going to try it. They're going to try it. And I'm not saying some of that stuff is fake. They really will release stuff that's not fake. So, but they'll manipulate it. So it's going to be like get your popcorn. I always get your probably need your champagne and popcorn. Um, but anyway, the more of us, and there's a lot of us that are capturing these kinds of videos and sharing them and explaining them to people. Say, look, I want you to look at it this way, just to try it. Not saying you should look at it this way or understand it this way, but just to broaden the way you view something. That's what we're doing. We're saying, hey, look at this, but what do you think about it? And it makes people start to think rather than being force-fed information. And rather than always relying on some hero or some authority figure, right? It's because that's where we need to move the humans forward. You guys already understand this. So our role is here, which I told upstairs, I'm not sure I can do it, is is to, I'm like, I don't know, I don't think I can do it, guys. I'm kind of stressed out, but is to go with the regular Terrans and to explain to them how to think for themselves. So that's the role. Um, I was actually happy because I did tell upstairs I'm going to have a really hard time with that right now. And they're cool. They're like, yeah, we get it. We understand. Yeah. It's for me, this is a challenge. So they get it, and I think they're going to pull me. Anyway, well, we shall see what happens. I mean, I think it'll be easier if I had Ika with me. Then I could have some moments where I can kind of decompress. But anyway, we shall see where this ball rolls to. In the meantime, it's unfortunate for all of the trees and plants and animals and different beings out there in California that are experiencing this kind of thing. But anyway, it is what it is, right? So, all right, guys, cheers and be a good night. I think, for since it's January 11th, to try some remote viewing or try some quiet time. Maybe reach out to your star family, and then you can come back to us and write in the comments what you remote viewed and also any info you get from upstairs. All right. Cheers, guys.